Morning! For once it is actually the morning that I'm starting this video. You join me on my living room couch because today we are doing what you've been waiting for a while, a Q&A. Now I realize this Q&A has taken a while. I did ask you to send me in questions probably about a month ago. I expected to get like maybe 20-30 questions from you guys and like hundreds came in, so it's unbelievable. Thank you all for your questions. I asked you to hashtag #AskSeb. I've picked some random ones out basically out of the ones that you asked. I'm just gonna fire away and try and answer as many as I can without making this video ludicrously long. I'm very happy it's another Q&A video because it means for once I can actually make a video in my boxer shorts and you would never know it. Apart from now I've told you. That kind of ruins the fun. Okay, let's get started. I got my laptop with the questions here. Question numero uno. P2NKZSB. Quite a mouthful. Hashtag #AskSeb. Could you tell us a little something about your background? Don't really know what you want to know about my background. I'm originally English and American, but I've lived my whole life here in France, around the Monaco area. I went to school here most of my childhood, and then I went to boarding school in Wales when I was like 15 years old, a place called Atlantic College in Wales, which was really, really good fun. After that, I went to university in Spain, which I dropped out of about a year ago, and I've been working ever since then. I work for myself. I don't work for a company or anything. I have a bunch of different projects, which so far are doing okay. So I'm just riding the wave and just loving life at the moment, basically. Hashtag #AskSeb, how did you become such a good friend with @Shmee150? Who says we're good friends? We are really good friends. I met Tim at Top Marks Monaco about 4 or 5 years ago, and we instantly started to know each other because at the time not that many people were sort of doing the like car vlogging type thing. So we just sort of met through that, and then ever since then we've gone on loads of trips and blah 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 all together, all of which is seen on YouTube. Who is Jason, the road trip buddy, and how do you know him? Jason is a brother to me nearly. He's one of my closest friends. I met him through Tim, who I actually met him the same year, the same time I met Tim. They were here together because they do Gumball together. And basically he's a mystery man. No one knows who he is. He doesn't have any social media, but he's one of our closest friends and he comes on all these trips with us. And he's a fantastic driver, and he's actually really good at holding the camera and helping us film and stuff. Hashtag #AskSeb, what car do you love but don't want anybody knowing? That's a good question. One car that I really like, I mean it's not that I mind anyone knowing, it's just a bit of an unusual choice, is the Renault Espace. When I was younger, my parents, we had this Seat Alhambra, it was called, like a big family car type thing. And we wanted to get a Renault Espace, but then we couldn't afford it in the end at the time. So since then, I've always loved the Renault Espace. And every time I see one drive past, I'm like, I really want a Renault Espace. But we haven't gotten one. But that is one car that every time I see one, I'm like, whoa, that's cool. Where actually, it's really not that cool. What made you start a YouTube channel? Hashtag #AskSeb. Very good question that I get asked a fair amount. Living around Monaco, I felt like I was in an extremely fortunate position where I would just see all these cool cars driving around the streets of Monaco. I didn't have any. I don't think I'd ever sat in a supercar or anything back then, but I would always see them. And I would see these videos online, probably from people like Paul, Supercars of London, those type of things, in London, of people filming the cars on the streets and sharing their passion and everything like that. So that's what I started doing. Originally, the camera wasn't pointing in my direction, it was pointing more towards the cars, and I just filmed all of those, and I really enjoyed it, and some of them got a good response and everything. And then when I started doing motor shows like Top Marks and stuff, I was like, you know what, this is really cool, and I knew that as a car person, I would have loved to see what the actual experience of going to these things are as like a young guy who likes cars like me. So I decided to turn the camera around and start talking people through the experiences I was living, and I've never regretted it. It's been fantastic. I love doing it. You guys seem to enjoy the videos, and yeah, it's just, I feel so incredibly lucky to be able to do these videos and actually have an audience that watches them. Every day I'm grateful for that, and that's all. I know all the YouTubers say it and stuff, but it's so true. It's because we all genuinely appreciate your support and you watching and liking and commenting and everything on the videos, because it does, like, it literally changes our lives. Ask Seb, did you go to college? If so, what subjects? I assume by college, that's an American way of saying university and stuff. I did go to university. I went to IE University in Spain, Segovia, where I met some amazing people, and I was studying business management there. So anything from like economics, I was doing maths, financial accounting, all that sort of stuff. I did enjoy that. I dropped out December last year. Whoa! 1 year anniversary of me dropping out of uni. Boom. This is a good one. Kylie Jenner for a night or Kendall Jenner for 1 year? I'm not even gonna think about that for a second. Kendall Jenner over Kylie Jenner anytime, so Kendall Jenner for a year. No question. Sorry, Sam. ASM9, what was your first language? My first language was English. I do speak French fluently. My written French it's alright. It's not the best in the world. I've mostly studied in English. English is definitely my first language, but I am also fluent in French. Ask Seb, what is your favorite thing about living in Monaco? That's tricky though, because there are lots of things I really like about living in Monaco. I mean, the weather is one of them. The fact that I'm now in my house in a t-shirt and I can just go outside in a jumper and it's December is really nice. Although this winter is particularly warm. Have you guys also noticed that? It's cray-cray. Obviously the cars that are around, and the sort of petrol head atmosphere that there is with the fact that there's a Formula 1 race here and everything. I mean, that's probably my favorite thing. The fact that wherever you go, you'll see nice cars, and that there's a Formula 1 race here. There's just a general petrol head atmosphere in Monaco, and I really, really do like that. Also, it's bloody beautiful around here, to be perfectly honest. Hashtag ask Seb, when and what raps are you going to do on your Twizy? Well, I read that wrong, but same conclusion. I don't know. I don't know if it needs a rap, really. I think if I was going to do anything to it, I would just make it matte black. I think that would be cool to have a matte black Twizy. But apart from that, I mean, I'm not really planning on anything in the near future. If you know anyone who knows how to do rapping and stuff like that in the south of France, Riviera, I would be interested, so comment below if you know anybody. Ask Seb, maintenance cost for Twizy. Boom! To be honest, that's not completely true. You do pay, I think it's 50 euros a month to rent the battery. The way it works, at least in France and Monaco, I know this is the way it works, is you effectively buy the car, but then you pay 50 euros a month to rent the battery, which is why the car, quadricycle thingy, whatever you call it, is so cheap, because you're not actually paying for the technology that went into the battery, you're just renting that every month. However, it does mean that when and if an update for the battery came out or a bigger engine, you could just upgrade to renting another battery and they could switch it out for you and stuff like that. So that is one thing, and if it breaks, they just put another one in and you rent that, so you don't need to fix the whole thing. So that's probably the only maintenance cost. I mean, you then charge it, but that doesn't really cost anything. It's like 80p a charge or something like that. I haven't had to bring it to have anything done to it yet, touch wood. There we go. So far, not that many maintenance costs. There's a shocking amount of Kylie and Kendall Jenner questions in these questions. This one, Kylie Jenner or 675LT. I'm a car guy, so 675LT. I said, what would be your dream job / career? I've always said I've got two dream careers that I would love to do. My number one would be Formula 1 driver, no question. You get to race and it's the best thing ever. Number two would probably be like a big time festival DJ and stuff like that. I do enjoy a bit of music producing and DJing and stuff like that. So those would be my two dream jobs. Probably too late for F1 and probably too late for the DJing too. So, woohoo! Lamborghini or Ferrari? Had you asked me that a couple years ago, I would have said Lamborghini. But now, having been lucky enough to experience the both a bit, I would probably have to go with Ferrari. Seb, would you rather be an F1 driver or a pro football player? Just answered that. Basically, F1 driver any day of the week. This was brilliant. Would you rather get in a fight with Paul or Shmi? That is a funny question. I'd probably have to go with Shmi, mainly because I feel like he would, if he were to hit me, he would instantly feel bad and make sure I was okay. Whereas if Paul hit me, you'd probably just keep going or something. I love this question. If you could pick one car and one person, famous or not, to ride with you on a Gumball 3000, what car and person and why? It would probably have to be Pagani's Zonda 760 Roadster, because that's my favorite car of all time, and it would be amazing to drive it. But I would maybe get it with a flappy paddle gearbox, because for all the long drives you maybe wouldn't want the manual for that. And then which person? Probably my sister. I would do it with my sister because my sister's like my best friend, and I think we would have so much fun doing Gumball 3000. So it would be in the Zonda with my sister. In the eyes of an angel. This person clearly hasn't understood the concept of a Q&A. Hashtag ask Seb, do you like my car? Yeah? Your car's awesome, mate. Paul or Sam as a pranking buddy? I would have to go with Paul, probably, which is unfortunate, seeing as Sam is usually the one that helps me and Paul is usually the one that pranks me. But I think Paul does have some really good ideas for pranks, first of all, and then he is very sneaky at executing them. And he's very good at just keeping quiet and not sharing the idea and stuff, so I would say Paul is definitely a very good prankster. When see-through glass washes his face, how high up does he go? I'm not gonna answer that question. What made you start YouTube and buy a Renault Twizy? See the beginning of this video for the first question. What made me buy a Renault Twizy was the simple fact that they are cool as f. Best experience you've had in 2015 so far? Well, I mean, it's basically the end of 2015, isn't it? So, best experience of 2015. Oh, that's a hard one. I mean, there was the Where's Shmee tour, there was Top Marks, there was Gumball, LA, Dubai, New York. So many cool things have happened this year. I think the best way to answer that question is I wouldn't have one single experience, which is the best experience of the year. I think it's a good way of reflecting on the fact that it has been the most unbelievable year for me. So many changes. I mean, this time last year I was at university studying, and now I've been to I don't know how many countries in the last 12 months and had the most incredible experiences, and it's just been the weirdest year for me with so many changes. Work's been going well as well, and so yeah, I mean, it's weird when I reflect back on everything that's happened this year. It's just unbelievable. And I am genuinely just so grateful for all the things I've been able to do through you guys, to other people who have helped organize different things. And the fact that I've been able to go on so many trips and go to so many countries and film so many epic cars and put so many cool videos on YouTube is just the thing that makes me the happiest in the world. So I guess this is the best opportunity to use this as the last question and just say a massive, massive thank you for all the support and everything you've done or allowed me to do in 2015. I hope you enjoyed this Q&A. I will be doing another Q&A sometime soon. Sorry it took me so long to put this one together. Also, I am thinking of trying to get my new car before the new year. That is my goal. So please also help me with that. Send me any cool cars you know of for sale, just anything you can do. I do appreciate it, and I really take your point of view on the cars into consideration. Thank you so much for watching as per usual. If you're not already, please remember to subscribe. There should be a button down there somewhere. That's the way YouTube works, I think. I probably should know more. I'm gonna guess that side, but I'm probably wrong. Thanks once again. Have a good rest of your day. Bye. Here she is. So 1973 2.7 RS. So effectively I'm just going to walk around the car and give you all of the details.